What's happening, SBTV? It's Bless Beats. We're here. Let me show you the studio. Producer's house here.
Usually drink, usually dance, usually bubble.
What's happening, people? It's Bless Beats. We're just here right now in the cut. You know, this is where the magic happens, you know. Any of you who follow my stuff will know that, you know, I've always worked on my laptop, so we're here, we've got Logic 10 up and running. There's like Ableton, Pro Tools, Reason, Fruity Loops. iPad, got loads of tricks on the iPad as well. Loving the IMPC at the moment. Got Cubase on there. Got my MIDI keyboard here. Got my Adams A7s. I always check things, I'll do stuff in my headphones. Bare dynamics I'd recommend anybody who's trying to get into production. Don't buy Beats by Dre's, they're fashion. It's not fashion, you don't need that. Compressor, preamp for the mic. Got my UAD Apollo, all the plugins as well, that's mad crazy. Got my central station, remote, so I can control everything that's on here, plus talk back to whoever's in the booth, which is behind you. We'll show you that in a minute. And yeah, so this is where all the magic happens. Though I'm a guy, I started on Reason. I kind of felt like I was at a disadvantage in terms of recording vocals. So I had to like sort of find a program that I could work with that I could do the vocal stuff on, and you know, the options were Pro Tools or Logic, and I decided to get into Logic, and yeah, Logic 8, Logic 9. Logic 10 just came out, had to get that straight away because, you know, just got to stay ahead of you, isn't that really? So I always thought that coming from Reason, I thought Reason and Fruity Loops had that sort of like crunchy sound to it. It was a lot thicker, and I always thought Logic had the cleaner mix, but this Logic seems to, yeah, it's a lot beefier. Everything just feels weighty from the get-go, which I'm totally happy with. There's loads of plugins, there's so many. Do you know what I mean? Nectar's a great one for vocals if you just want, do you know what I mean? Waves are brilliant. I don't give you too many because, you know what I mean, I have to keep a few tricks, but you know.
That's when I start promising the world to a brand new girl I don't even know yet.
So yeah, this is my booth, you know. Yeah, as I said, we've got the Mic mic here, what we're trying out for the minute. I like the Geminis, but you know, this is clean. You know, had Gabrielle in it the other day, and you know, it sounded wicked. Pair of Cyanizers with a HD 280s Pro, industry standard studio headphones, pop shield, Gingin's lipstick all over it. You know, got live percussion, tambourine, you know, if you want to get any sort of live sound in. So yeah, once I've finished any beats, songs, you know, fortunate enough to have Nigel next door who runs the edit suite, which is a mastering studio, so just shoot stuff straight over to, I don't even have to shoot it over, I literally just walk, I actually take you there and show you. So this is Nigel, guys, runs the edit suite, so we get everything mastered. You know, when you finished your production and that, you know, from your computer, you normally have an unlimited bounce which you'd send to a master. I always use Nigel. To me, Nigel's like one of the best. He runs edit suite. Normally with mastering, they overanalyze the tune, make sure everything's perfect on it, and yeah. I always liked music. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think you wouldn't be human if you didn't like music. Do you know what I mean? In secondary school, I remember seeing like the year 11s. So like, yeah, I remember seeing them on the computers, and they were like had beats up, and I was like, what the hell is that? Like, the now music lessons would just be trying to play like Free Blind Mice or something. Do you know what I mean? Like dead, and I was just like, no, I need to know what's on the computer. So from like year 7, I was always trying to find out and stuff, and like I remember I started getting the gist of it, how to use like Cubase, but I kept complaining to my teacher. I was like, I've made my beat, but it doesn't sound how I want the beat to sound. Like, what can I do? And he was like, you need something called plugins, but you know, the school doesn't have that kind of stuff. So I was like, okay, cool. But he goes, I've got something for you, and big up Mr. Russell, he gave me my first cracked version of Reason. Them times, yeah, I was like, what, year 8, like 13 or something, and yeah, so I had to use my mum's PC. I was like, Mum, let me like, install this thing. Like, I need to. This is what I need to install. Like, I need to do this. Like, I didn't have a clue, and there wasn't even YouTube tutorials those days. I just had to literally just sit down and keep playing. But I sort of had an idea of how to make beats because I had Music 2000 as well on my PlayStation. That was like the best thing back in the day. And you could like sample. You could put like a CD in it and sample when they were sick. So yeah, so I had an idea of how I wanted beats to sound. I listened to loads of music anyway, so I sort of was always aware of the structure and stuff like that. The acts that were around then were like, yeah, it was So Solid and all of that. That's when I really started getting into it. So Solid, all the garage stuff that was getting signed, Sweet Like Chocolate. At that era, that era really, I was already starting to get into it, but that era really made me wanna like get into it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, one day I think Delusion had gone to a studio with my tracks. I got a phone call and Delusion called me up and said that's what happened. And yeah, he said, I'll give Wiley your number. He should call you. He said he was gonna call you. Got a phone call. It was Wiley. He was like, yeah, like your beats. I wanna come and get some. And he came to my mum's. Met him there. He was with God's Gift. So it was like, whoa, I was a fan of God's Gift as well them times. You know what I mean? And like literally, that first meeting was how 16 Bar Rally came about. It was like the first record I did with Wiley even. You know, just before Rolex, I was getting a lot of support from One Extra. Anyway, people like Cameo, Tim Westwood, you know, these that Tim Westwood sort of championed 16 Bar Rally, you know, so it was support from the ground up. These things, they're due to all of us, you know what I mean? Success is, you know, it's something everyone can achieve. So if you like work for it, you should get it.
I take your 8 stacks, put it in my grey sack, put it on my back, then I move off ASAP.
So I brought up the original reason file for Wearing My Rolex, just to sort of break it down for you and actually see what components went together to sort of make it the record it was. So if we just literally start with the first thing, I used the 4. I love the 4. If anyone who uses Reason, the 4 is my favourite. I'm sure if you use the 4 yourself, you'll recognise that I've actually used quite a few sounds from it. So yeah, here's the first solo part, which sort of, you know, it's a bit more reverby. It's not the initial sound you're used to when you hear Wear My Rolex. You're more used to hearing this sound. But then put them together and you sort of get this nice reverb on the whole sound as one instrument. So this is the actual noise as you hear it. So yeah, it's just about layering up and, you know, just sort of getting more out of the sound. The drums, really simple. I was just having fun making this record because I thought it's dance music, you know, it's quite straightforward. So I just really went for a simple pattern. When the hats came in. So yeah, you can just see really basic drum pattern. You know, you throw those drums with that bass and you get this. So it's really straightforward, just keeping it simple. Do you know what I mean? Give them a bass line, do you know what I mean? The bass line wasn't difficult at all, just a couple of notes. You know, you chuck all that together and you start getting that. Really simple. And then my granddad told me, you know, if you're making music, it's important to make the true move. You know, people always want to hear something they can move to. So percussion's something that's a must for me in all of my records. And the percussion on Rolex was this. And then just that and a bit of white noise, the famous swoosh of Rolex. Yeah.
All I want to do is tell you I love you.
And you put that all together and
What would we do? What would we do? All I want to do is tell you I love you.
so there you have it. 14 tracks in total, 15 tracks. Get it mastered. The mix was done on Reason. So as I said before, make the most of the softwares you're using. You know, it is achievable with these softwares. You can do it. So there you have my broken down version of Wearing My Rolex. I got signed to Sony. That was a publishing deal, but you know, it was off the back of Rolex. You know, so obviously, you know, you got a tune that's blowing up. These major companies who've never heard of you before suddenly hear of you and think that's where they need to be investing. Previous to that, you know, I'd sort of understood about getting PRS. I understood what that was. I didn't know the full extent of there were companies that could sync your music to adverts, video games, even put you in with other people who've got their own projects or put your stuff forward for projects that were happening. So it sort of opened my eyes to something that I'd never understood. I mean, one thing Rolex did do for me was actually introduce me to the industry. I sort of thought getting my stuff on One Extra was as far as it could go. And the amount of people I've worked with over that space of time, you know, it's just made me grow so much as a musician. Yeah, beat 2, this is Where's My Brother? Quickly, just break it down for you guys. Drums. So kick. Snare. Give you the next section. Just so you can hear that. That's what that is by itself. So I'll just give you that bass line quickly just so you can see what that was doing. Because you'll know the intro with the strings and the bass, but I'll show you that bit anyway. So tap bass on the 4. So if any of you is looking for that bass, that's what it is. Then what's this? I think this is hats. Yeah, so put all those drums together. Give it the bass line. And then those strings, you know the strings? And then there's this yeah, and you know, so that's Where's My Brother broken down for you. Yeah, that's Where's My Brother. I don't think computers will go out. I think they're going to get smaller, more accessible. Studios are going to become something you can actually fit on a desk. You know, you don't need a whole massive room. In terms of my setup as a beat maker, it hasn't changed. It's always been me and my computer. You know, you can get plugins. I don't need to have 20 analog keyboards. I can get the same sounds in a plugin. People could argue and say you don't get the feel and stuff like that, but you know, just don't quantize it and use a MIDI keyboard. It's most of you people, you know, they was used to the old way of how it worked, you know, studios with all the analog gear, and I never experienced that. So for me, it's always been about this digital. There's loads of producers I like, do you know what I mean? Like fan of Swiss Beats, Jay Dilla, even Pharrell, but do you know what I mean? It's all the obvious ones, you know, and you just think, cool, everyone's good at a craft, you know, and I respect what they do, but inspiration can come from like a sound on my daughter's keyboard. Like, I mean, I wouldn't say a specific person. You know, I think it's a collection of everything I've heard that inspires me. You just sort of take a bit from everyone and sort of make your own thing. Yeah, let's go. I'm just chucking down a riff. I'm just trying to get a riff in my head down quickly. What I've heard from that. Found a couple of keys I like. Just gonna clean it up now. I don't want it to bounce like that. I want it to be dum 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 like. So we drag this one back. One should go. That one's late as well. Drag that back. Give me that riff again. think
the
it's
time
worth
now,
it.
cause?
Don't worry, bro, because the tune's it's a quick one. It's a rally.
Right, give me enough to ready to then, cause. You got the next round. Halfway through, cause.
Don't worry, bro, we're there.
Trust me. Get a little snare in there and start shuffling.
minutes.
No, blood.
2 minutes. You know what?
Slowly.
Do you know what?
Stop talking and stop.
You know what? I can chop more at it, but do you know what the truth is? Like, I think that's a, you know what I mean? If it's, I was going for a rally rhythm for you, you know?
Nah, yeah.
If I made an intro for you,
Intro it out.
yeah.
All that
I'll just give you
malarkey.
the intro
You
and
got
that.
like 1.5 minutes left.
You guys have kind of got the thing there. Yeah, 9 minutes, I'm done. I don't want to do any more.
Okay.
I don't want to do any more.
Wait.
That's the rhythm,
Pause
that's the rhythm,
that,
that's the
pause
rhythm,
that.
that's the rhythm.
Man stops at
That's the
9
rhythm.
minutes. Try
That's the
beat
rhythm.
that producer houses.
I mean, if you're trying to make beats, the first thing to do is, you know, understand what a beat is. Understand that it has a rhythm, has a time signature. You know, there's 4/4, there's 3/4, there's 5/4. There's so many. Do you know what I mean? Like, understand where the beat is. Do you know what I mean? You can have that pattern that goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. You know what I mean? There's loads. Most tunes, kicks normally on the first bar, on the first one. Do you know what I mean? So you put it on the boof on the first one. Or if it's reggae, you might put it on the half. Do you know what I mean? So you've got a 1 drop kind of thing. So it's like there isn't any rules. Do you know what I mean? You can have fun with it. If you're starting out, you know, start with the cheaper softwares maybe. Do you know what I mean? Like, I got a name and got played on Radio 1 and 1 Extra from using Reason when people didn't even believe in it. I always just try and compare my tunes to tunes that are already out. Do you know what I mean? In terms of the mix down, the levels, sound quality. Do you know what I mean? That's always a good start, you know, so you know your stuff sort of sits in the mix of it all.
Ring the alarm. I don't care for yawning. 5 in the morning, man, I still come back firing, storming. See close friends leave everyone mourning. Ross, that's what they callin'. Titty sucking and fucking them up like all in. And I go all in, that's all in. You're not balling, so why do you flex to get balling? Shut shit down straight when I walk in. On all fours on the floor crawling. Wake up, all you see is next morning. Say no more, man, relax, stop talking. We don't believe you. Holla man, you man, to see through. So come back.
We're gonna get into the vibes right now, really. So
get me. Shout out SBTV.
But shout out SBTV all day. This is Bless Beats. This was my producer's house. You ain't gotta go home, but you gotta get the hell out of here, man.
Subscribe to SBTV to keep updated on the latest releases and check out more of our videos below.
Close friends leave everyone mourning. Ross, that's what they callin'. Titty sucking and fucking them up like all in. And I go all in, that's all in. You're not balling, so why do you flex to get balling? Shut shit down.